So, Mr. Williams, in your presentation this morning, you talked about Domtar's core business, free sheet papers, which are number one in North America, and also your extensive fiber production capabilities. But also you talked about the new fiber-based products, consumer products, which are a growth area right now. Could you tell me about the synergies between the, your core business and the new consumer product business?
Yeah, certainly. So as you may recall, in Plymouth we manufacture fluff pulp, which is obviously sort of a key ingredient, if you like, in both baby diaper and adult incontinence. So we think not only from a supply standpoint, but also from a kind of R&D insight standpoint, actually owning that business is a key competitive advantage to us. In addition, recently we bought a business called EAM, which actually puts together part of the core for baby diaper and for adult incontinence. Right. So if you line all that up, we think that R&D piece and the insight piece and the forward integration piece in terms of supply will give us a competitive advantage. So that's how we view it.
And looking forward in the future, do you think more of your mills would use this productive capability to advance your consumer products?
Well, I think you have to be very careful in the paper industry because the temptation always is kind of build it and they will come. I.e., you can do something technically, but you forget about the marketplace. Right. We do it the other way around. So we look at the marketplace and then see if we have the technical skills. Yeah. So maybe not. It has to make economic sense, and we have to be able to bring a competitive advantage to ourselves by being backward integrated.
Okay. Now, in your core business, the free sheet papers, tell me what you're doing to sort of promote your position in that industry and keep your market share up and sort of counterbalance the expected decline in the market.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we're looking at the demand profile, looking at why consumers buy this product. So you'll see we're doing the Paper Because campaign. We've done it for a number of years, paperbecause.com. Really giving people an emotional connectivity with paper and paper's appropriate use. We're not saying don't go digital. We're saying paper has its use. And of course then the industry now is going to launch what we call a paper checkoff program in 2013, where we'll have committed $25 million per year for 7 years to actually promote paper and paper-based packaging both to the consumer and to the channel. So, and of course, we're really looking at our brand Earth Choice and the Xerox brand that we now own in North America to make certain we're giving the consumer kind of responsible and sustainable choices when they buy paper.
Now, regarding free sheet products, are you looking at or considering any change in your grade structure to address increasing needs in that sector?
Well, that's an interesting question. I mean, we always think about what's appropriate for the marketplace. So we'll always think about, are there new grades we need? Is there more brightness we need? What's appropriate based on printing technologies? So we're always looking and developing. So you never arrive. You're always on a journey, I would say there.
Now, at your mills in Windsor and also in Plymouth, you've invested in high technology recovery operations, and you're producing lignin and NCC at Windsor. What do you see the potential for those products are?
Well, I think unlimited, but it takes a while to get the order. So there's no doubt, I think, on Celluforce, the NCC plant where we're in a joint venture with FP Innovations, generating those first orders, and that first order process has taken us longer, I think, than we would have expected, but we now have some great development relationships with some customers, so I'm positive about that business going forward. Lignin was slightly different because it wasn't the world first. There were people already, it was a world first in the specific technology we're using. So there, actually, we're pretty much selling what we make. The question, I think, going forward is, can we capture more of the added value in that value chain? And then there's a debate about, well, do you therefore need to build secondary processes? If you need to build secondary processes, how are you going to get that? So, as I said in my talk earlier, I think you have to kiss a few frogs on innovation before a prince turns up. And so we would like to have 4 or 5 small, don't bet the store new technologies that we're developing, where we're building a little marketplace for them to see where that takes us.
And regarding biorefining, these products are a type of biorefining. What is your ideas, or what are your ideas and commitments on biorefining at your other mills and these mills?
Well, I mean, I think these are both biorefining. We see these as part of a biorefining strategy. I don't think in the short term that is going to transform either my company or the industry, biorefining, quite frankly. I think over time, as we find markets, it may. Then the paper industry has the debate, will it capture the value added, or will someone further up the value chain or further down the value chain actually capture the value added? So my view is a series of experiments. If the experiment works and there's a real commercial opportunity, do you partner with somebody? Do you do it yourself? I think that decision about where you're going to play in the value chain, in the biorefining space, is going to be the key decision for the industry.
Now, Domtar collects a lot of biomass as part of its harvesting operations. What potential do you see for that as a source of energy that you can gain some extra revenue for?
Well, I mean, certainly there's no doubt. You know, we sell a lot of power and we arbitrage the green power against the standard power rate. We'll continue to do that where it makes economic sense. Today we're about, I think, 76%, if I get the number about right, self-sufficient. So the more we can be self-sufficient, the better. Yeah. And certainly the more we can, drive power sales, the better. So we look at that all the time.
And where do you see Domtar heading, say, in 5 years from now? What will be your product mix?
Good question. So we've said very clearly we're going to build out these new businesses to between 300 and 500 million of EBITDA. So probably 50% or slightly more of the EBITDA from this corporation may well come from the new businesses. I think in the core business, we'll still be in the pulp business, we'll still be in the paper business. And we'll still drive those businesses the way we drive them today, but we'll have a much bigger consumer products business.
Okay, Mr. Williams, thank you for your time.
A pleasure. Thank you very much indeed.